and I saw you on the side and you came on and you were about 200 miles an hour down that wing.
Yeah, as I turned up, my exhaust fell off the car.
They were as bad as each other.
They were pretty bad.
So we want to give as many children the opportunity to be able to have fantastic play environments. So what are we now, Paul? 18 years in?
18 years since I started. Yeah.
Remember when it first? Well, do you remember when it first started? When we first met on the football pitch
at Radbrook. Yeah, Croft, I think it was away.
Away. You were on the bench. I remember seeing this little kid coming down, and we were getting battered every week. And one of the lads said, "I've got a mate that'll come down." And I saw you on the side, and you came on, and you were about 200 miles an hour down that wing. Kept putting the ball in. Did you score?
I think I scored. I think I might have assisted.
Yeah,
got you an assist.
And I was like, "We like this lad. He's good."
It was a good team. A good social team.
Yeah. And that's what it was about back then, wasn't it? It was good. It wasn't the top level football, but it was good football, good social. We used to go down to London every year.
Yeah, Charlton away. It was more of the social aspect. It wasn't just football. It was Saturday evenings. It was Sundays. We were playing golf. Yeah, we had a good time. I think I knew you for 2 years before I joined.
Well, yeah, I was thinking that was at the time Pentagon was growing and we were becoming a good company and knew we needed to take on some good staff. And I just saw the way you were with the boys, the way you were when we went to Charlton charity and you were helping raise money. And I was like, I think this is someone that might actually suit a role where we're talking to head teachers every day. So I said, do you want to do a week's trial? Do you remember?
Yeah, I was in a job where sort of dead end, wasn't really much progression. I think I was a bit bored of it as well. And then I came and did that week with you. We travelled to Hull, Newcastle, then back down to Birmingham, all in the space of about 4 days.
Meeting all different sorts of people.
Yeah, accents.
Yeah.
It was a crazy week, but a good week. And yeah, I think I've been in an office for 2.5 years, and to get in the car and get around, it was good, great fun. And then fast forward 18 years, and
never look back. A few grey hairs, old beards.
Yeah, a bit of extra pounds.
Yeah.
Loved it. Loved every single minute of it.
Well, Pentagon through and through.
100%.
So to not put you off, Paul, or to not put me off, let's talk about your early days at Pentagon. In fact, let's talk about your interview day.
Yeah, it was a funny day. Turned up at the very first office I think you'd taken over near Chelford. And as I turned up, my exhaust fell off the car. And I can remember meeting Mike for the first time, and Mike having to put some rubber grass mats to hold my
and a cable tie
yeah.
In your white pumps?
I turned up in my white pumps, and I'd been given a name for the whole 18 years of white pumps.
I'm there saying to Mike, I've got this great guy for football you're going to love him. He's got a personality everyone's going to love. He turns up in trainers and jeans.
I think Mike
a little bit like today.
Yeah, I think Mike was a bit, who is this lad and what's he going to offer?
But you've not changed. I think people like dealing with you because you are who you are. And that's what, if you're true to yourself when you're in a role, when you've got to deal with other people, you can't play another part. You've just got to be yourself.
Yeah, and I think from there, it was great meeting Mike. I think the guys as well, the early days of Greg, Tim, Carl, Jimmy,
Nick. I mean, people that AD, there's a lot of people that are still in the business now that were there 18 years ago, and they were like you were. So am I two? Am I one up?
Yeah, one up.
Okay. Oh, that's disappointing. That's disappointing. So it's funny us two playing, Paul, like it was in the old days, just the two of us, and now we blink and we've got a room full of outdoor learning consultants that hopefully we've helped shape a little bit of their progress. Remember we first started, when we knew we were getting to the stage, we had to grow the team. If we were going to grow the business, we needed to grow the team. And we either could go down and hire some old sales consultant that maybe come in with his own ideas, or actually a bit like with you when we were young, actually someone that's open to new ideas. So once our marketing started to have a platform for growth, we knew that actually we need to keep up. So we started off with Meg and Greg probably 9 years ago, took them as graduates, and actually they came in at maybe 22 years old, and now they're running sales teams of 7-8 people. Once we had Meg and Greg and they were established and they understood the business and understood how important it was that we put the customer first. And actually, our customer for me is the children in the school, actually them having amazing opportunities for education, learning and actually playing outside, which is what I remember being the best thing, you know, as a kid.
Yeah, I think when we took Meg and Greg on, we had to start thinking about territories. We had to start thinking about who was training who. And then I think we had a very quick 5 years where having somebody in a territory, looking after the customers, getting to know the customers.
So that's more important than ever, actually knowing the customer, because you've got different regions. We deal with inner city schools where there's 700 children, and then we'll deal with a rural school in Cumbria, in Cheshire, where there's 30, 40 children, and those children actually need something completely different. They come from different lives at home, which is why I'm excited about some of the things that we're doing in the future now, not just in terms of installation, with what we're going to be doing with online and our essentials range, actually being able to give all children the opportunity to have fantastic equipment, I think is really important. So we've got to this point, but we also need stuff that's going to keep us excited for the future. We've always got on really well and been excited and set ourselves ambitious targets, which we've gone and hit, but we've been good at, as soon as we're hitting targets, we're there, what's next? And actually, well, the one thing that I love is I think it's 500,000 children now are playing on our equipment each year.
I think in the market that we're in now, we're up there. We sort of have achieved so much in that market. I'm quite excited about the new ranges that we were looking at. So, you know, parks, parish councils, attractions, more with the nurseries, just to set ourselves different challenges and see if we can, you know, provide more things for children in other markets, in other avenues.
We've got the indoor to come that's just been launched now.
The indoor range is exciting. Yeah, can't wait to see our first school with that put in.
And then online, which we know is the future, but so many schools are coming to us directly and actually providing resources, because schools all have different sort of budgets and everyone's aware of the pressures of school budgets. So we want to give as many children the opportunity to be able to have fantastic play environments, and that's what we can do, which is why designing all our equipment is super important. So we want to ensure, Paul, that we keep the quality of recruitment and keep the quality of staff coming through. Do you think we can ensure that by our sort of fast track program that we do? We give people a clear vision of where we want them to get to and how they're going to get there in a pathway. We also give them the opportunity to work closely with senior management, with directors, and even with founders and managing directors of the business. Is that enough for young people? You know, is that what people are looking for? You do a lot of the interviews.
I think with the predicted growth that we're looking at in the next few years, you know, we need to get somebody in every patch, ensure that everyone's local. Also looking at the different markets, I feel like there's going to be different people that will tailor better to different markets. I don't think that having the early years consultants that we have going into parks, holiday markets, is sort of maybe a different sell. So I think in the next few years, yeah, we've definitely got to get people on the fast track system, get them in young, get them into the Pentagon culture, and find the right person for the right type of work.
And getting them to understand that it is about our vision. You know, I talked with Mike about that. Once we understood what our why was and why we did what we did, and we want to improve children's lives and give them great opportunities, and we have the chance to do that. And I think a lot of young people today want to work for a company that has good values. I think I remember you saying, I don't think we'll be here for long.
I think the first year made a big stride. I'd probably say second, third years when things went a bit crazy.
I need to put my name down for a car park this big for our next office, Don.
Phase 3, isn't it?
The man that gets up at 5 o'clock in the morning and runs the hills of Macclesfield